What's up? So this is the story about how I had brain surgery. This was all a couple years ago, so I'm good now. I had an MRI a couple months ago, and they said I'm all good. It looks like there's nothing there, so I'm all good now. But this is a story about me. I'm in 10th grade right now. This is 7th grade. So it's 7th grade science class, and I remember this very descriptively. I start feeling weird, right? My head starts hurting, or my head starts like throbbing a little bit. In my peripheral vision, right? Not your, I can't see it, but in like the corner of my eye, I see this group of colors that you can't describe. They're just always moving and like you can't describe it, right? It's indescribable. This just imagine just a clump of cluster of colors constantly changing, right? You can't describe it. And my head starts feeling really throbby. That small thing in my peripheral starts to grow more. And I'm also seeing weird shapes. I think I was dehydrated as well. It hasn't ever happened again. That was just the first time. But I started seeing these weird like hexagon or like these whatever shape this is. I don't know what that one's called. It might just be who cares, right? That's not important. Yeah, I think they're hexagons. A bunch of random hexagons that are like long. And so I go ask my teacher. I'm like, hey, can I go walk to the nurse's office? And she's like, yeah, sure. Because I was telling her about how I see this thing in my peripheral vision. It keeps growing, and my head's throbbing. And they're like, it might be a migraine. Some kid was talking about, but I was like, nah, this can't be one unless, like, I don't see no way every human on Earth can just have this sometimes. Well, not every human, but you know what I'm saying. Like, people can't just deal with this consistently. So I'm like, yeah, let me go to the office. So I walk by myself for some reason. I don't know why I thought I could just walk by myself. And this growing cluster of colors that you can't describe keep growing until my whole left side, this is happening in my left eye. My whole left peripheral vision and eventually my whole eye is just these like chaotic colors. And it's like my head's throbbing even more. And then all of a sudden, the vision in my left eye is gone. I can only see in my right eye. So like just cover your eye like this, like just so you can just barely see in your left eye to where it's just like just your right peripheral, just like this. Do that real quick. That's what it looked like. So I was walking down the halls and I was like, oh shoot, I just lost my vision forever in my left eye. But it came back a couple minutes later. Took a while. It slowly regained vision. Like I could eventually start seeing again, but at first I couldn't see at all. So I was like, oh shoot, I lost my vision. I don't remember much more from that day, but I just remember that I couldn't see so much to the point where I was walking I couldn't see my hand on the locker. It was right here. How can I? Right like this, right? Imagine you have your hand on the locker right here, but I can't see the locker. I'm just walking. And I'm like, my head's throbbing. Like I'm saying, it's like I feel dehydrated. I feel terrible, right? That's what I'm trying to describe. So, so because of this, my parents obviously find out, and they're like, let's go to the doctor. And then that doctor puts me into, I think, a neurologist in like a local one, like a super high level one, but like he's a starter neurologist. So like he's like low level, right? He doesn't have all the technology and stuff. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna get you an MRI at this local place, and then we're gonna get you an EEG. EEG is just like they put a bunch of things on your head, like you know those I don't know how to. I'll put a picture on screen, but they just put a bunch of these things on your head. They're like sticky, and it's like a scan. So they scanned me with that. I get my first MRI in this like little rinky dinky place. It was very like I don't know. It wasn't run down, but it definitely was like an untrustworthy place to go consistently. At least for me, on my perspective. But yeah, so I had my first MRI. They're like, we see this little white mass in the back right of your head, which is on the MRI. Like the images are like reversed, so it'd be on the bottom left of the MRI, but in reality, it's back here. So like, yeah, we see this. Let's get you moved up. And actually, let me back up a little bit. Before we went and did the neurologist thing, I did go to an eye doctor, and they're like, hey, it's not your eyes, it's something else. So that's why I went to the neurologist, and then he told us, hey, go to Chapel Hill. This really like it's like it's a really high level like medical place. So they have a bunch of technology there, a bunch of cool stuff. And when I went to Chapel Hill, I started getting these let's just call them eye things, right? They turned out to be seizures, but like they were like I don't know if they were brain seizures or like something. Let's just say something was messing up in my brain, right? And it affected my eyes. So yeah, they kept happening more consistently. Instead of like once a month, it'd be like once every 2 weeks, and then once a week, stuff like that, right? So they prescribed me this medicine, and then we continued getting MRIs and stuff. I think right now I'm almost at 10 MRIs, so that's kind of an achievement. I kind of find that to be a cool number, like having double digit MRIs. Like it's not cool, but like I guess it sounds nice to say. But yeah, so these things kept getting worse. Not all of them were terrible. Like some of them I didn't like feel too bad about. Others it was just like really scary and stuff like that. But they keep getting worse, like overall, and they keep happening more consistently. So I get prescribed medicine, and it works, but not it doesn't cure it. So they still happen every now and then, but they're less consistent. And yeah, like what I was saying, the MRIs they start realizing that there's this white mass in the back right of my head that continues to grow over the time of these MRIs. So they're like, hey, this ain't normal. We gonna probably need to get some surgery. And I get the surgery, right? It's either April or May of 2022 is when this is happening. So from the span of 2021, probably beginning of the school year, no, like let's say the first 10 weeks of school of 7th grade is when this started, and this is going to be the last couple weeks of school of 7th grade. So it's the same, it's like this is in the span of like almost a year, right? And like, okay, let's get the surgery. So like I said, in April or May of 2022, I got surgery, right? They called me in early. It was like very early in the morning. Like I was very tired. I wasn't nervous though. I recently, like not recently, but at that time I recently found God. So I had a lot more like faith, and I trusted in him to do what was supposed to happen. So I wasn't super scared, and I've noticed that because I had faith in God, I have never really been stressed or like really super stressed about this. I haven't been super scared. I just trusted that God would do what is best, and as you see, I'm all good now. So thanks God. But yeah, that's just like it's really strengthened my faith because I trusted in him and it worked out. So yeah, I didn't stress that much. I was just tired. They get my blood or something. They put in some stuff into my blood, and then it tastes like metal. Actually, it was like a metallic taste in your tongue, like when they shot you up with something. I don't know what it was, but they shot me up with that thing, and then um, they rolled me out into the surgery room. Everything's fine. I'm just chilling. I have like I'm like naked besides a thing that they put around me for surgery, and then this random lady just like she was talking to me. She was chill. She was nice, but she gets this gas mask. Like I felt like I couldn't breathe almost because it was like suctioned on my mouth. So I was trying to fight the gas. I was like, I want to see how long I can go, and I did it for like about 5 seconds at most probably, and then I blink, open my eyes, and it's a couple hours later. It's like dark now, or it's like probably 5 p.m. or something like that, and I started at like 7 in the morning. Um, Apparently I woke up. This is like folklore. This is like power scaling. I guess my dad said that it took a bunch of doctors to hold me down while I got up because I was like I wasn't like I was out of it, so I was just kind of getting up. I guess I was using I don't know. That's just a random fact I heard. This might not be true. I don't know. Maybe I'm Superman. Maybe I'm not. But that's what I heard. But yeah, so I wake up and I'm 11 or 12 years old, so I think that they might still be in there. It's still possible. So I get false scared. Nothing was there. Um, I'm in hospital for about a week or like 4 or 5 days. It's probably 5 days, and my head was super tight, like because I don't know if you can. Hold up, let me try and get my phone real quick to see if I can show you the scar. It's hard to get it because it's like my hair's grown in, but hold up. Okay, well you can't see it, but it's like right here is where it is. But I guess my hair covers it up. But yeah, so I have a scar, which is kind of cool. It's kind of nice to brag. Hey, I have a head scar. What you got? But yeah, so I have to kind of not dang. I don't have to relearn how to walk, but I have to get used to it again just because I don't know why, to be honest with you, but they made me like step out and try to practice walking. My head, like, it like felt like it was 30 pounds heavier, just I guess because it was tight because of the scar or whatever. And it was just it kind of sucked, to be honest with you, sometimes because I had an EEG I had to do. And like I was saying before, EEGs, I don't know if I explained it fully, but they're sticky. Like they itch you a lot. And I had to do one for like 4 hours straight while trying to go to sleep. And it felt like torture, to be honest with you, because it sucks. You can't itch it or else it messes it up. It was just really bad. And this is when I had longer hair at the time. So it was like worse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So once I get dismissed out of the hospital, I go back to school. My friend Ethan, I've talked about him in the previous videos. He makes up a joke saying that I got hit by a bus. So some of these girls believe it. It's stupid, but it was funny. Um, I don't know. I remember that. That was just random, but that was funny. So yeah, seventh grade, I get brain surgery, and then the next following years, they want to do like what's it called, backup surgery, or not surgeries, but like MRIs afterwards to see if they got it or not. So this is the second one or third one I've had after the surgery. It was about like a month or two ago, and what happened? Oh yeah, the first one they're like, hey, we have this white mass still there, but it's probably just scar tissue. So we're like, okay. Then the next time they're like, yeah, it's just scar tissue pretty much. And what sucks is even after the surgery, I still get my eye seizures sometimes. So the fact that there's a scar tissue means that it can mess up my head still, or that's what they're saying at least. It can mess up my head, and I still get the seizures. So I don't have the tumor anymore, but it's still possible for me to get like my vision lost. And what's crazy as well is that because I'm growing in weight, because I'm just getting taller and stuff, I had the worst seizure ever where I was in class. Let me tell you about this. It was this year actually, either this year or like December. It was this school year, so I'm a sophomore. It's sophomore year, and I have a seizure, right? But the class is changing, so I walk to the office because I'm like, I'm not trying to. I don't really care about school at this point. I'm having a seizure. Who cares, right? Walk to the office, and in the office, I pass out. That's the first time that ever happened. That's never happened again. I just passed out, right? I wake up in the ambulance. Um, it was kind of not really scary. I was just like, wow, I did not expect that to happen. But yeah, I passed out after having this thing. But yeah, so from the MRIs that I've had following up the surgery, they've never said anything bad. They're just saying it's scar tissue. You'll be good. Um, we've been doing it, like I said, for the past 3 years almost. So it's been 3 years of no growth, or like no like scares at all. So yeah, I'm all good now. But that's a story about how I got brain surgery. I know it's probably all over the place because I did write a mini script, just like what I want to go over. But I also like remembered some stuff. So yeah, I hope that was a interesting story. That's my story. That's probably the hardest thing I had to go through was brain surgery, just because it sucked, and it was just the reason why I had to get it was scary. But yeah, that's all I got for this story. If you like story times like this, subscribe or hit the like button or something like that. Let me know that you guys like this, because I do want to start being more personalized with y'all. I want y'all to learn more stuff about me. I want to get to know y'all more as well. I don't know where I want to go with this channel, to be honest with you. I'm thinking that I'm going to continue doing self-improvement stuff, but I also want to make like a community of self-improvement people, which I guess that's the same thing as self-improvement. Okay, I'll figure it out. Okay, but that's all I got for this story. Um, that's all I got for this story. If you want to learn how to be saved, it's one of these videos. It's this one. Nope, it's this one right here. And you should watch this video too, though. But yeah, and if you want to learn how to start self-improvement, which is the whole channel is about, it's up there. But that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Praise God.